potential injury front? Anyone back? Any other concerns from Mork?
Nobody's back. Same group. So they need to do a damn sight better than they did, without a shadow of a doubt. The goal, watching it back, is horrendous. All four people made a mistake in the same goal. I'm not being funny. I think Ollie Clark would have won the first header. I'm not being funny. So how frustrating is it? You do all of those bits and pieces, and even if we come away not playing well, we should have at least drew the game. Infuriating, but there you go, such is life.
How much do you want this game to be a bit of a sort of exorcism of that performance, I suppose?
I'm not doing that ever again. I wanted that on Saturday, didn't get it. So basically, the analogy that I'm using, we've hit a service, hit the net, that was a double fault, let's get on with the next one. So, you know, I'm not up for criticising people, but it's more about what you do about something. And if someone's just made a mistake, someone has to make up for that with even more aggression. And I didn't see that, and that's upsetting. But it is horses for courses, so, you know, I'll have to look at who we've got available to play in those areas and see what I can do about it, try and make us a bit stronger if I can. You know, because I know what they're going to do, and I know what they're good at, you know. So they do all sorts different types of football, Wimbledon, but, you know, they certainly get it forward. You certainly got to man up and deal with that, which we did in the away game, you know. So a lot of thinking going on. So I've decided it all. I'm not telling you, because they'll be watching this, and away we go. Let's see if we can do better. I believe we can. I believe we gave them a really good game last time, so looking forward to it. I'm glad we got one, to be honest. I would have hated to mithered about with that for a week.
I was going to say, does that help the players have quickly got a different focus for them, do you think?
They've always responded to what we've said, always, and did it a lot better than Morecambe have done over, you know what I mean, over recent weeks. So if I take it into context, that is a bad result when we've had 5 or 6 or 7 more better ones than them. So unfortunately, that is the way it is, but it's still on our CV. We lost to the bottom of the table twice. So it just shows how vulnerable you can be. You've never cracked it in football, so let's get on with it. We've got the crowd behind us on a pretty good run at home. Let's see if we can get a win. A win changes everything. And that's what we're going to be gunning for.
So how significant do you think that physical element is for this game, from what you said?
What have I said all along about Ollie Clark? What did I call him? Or Rodri? And I think that just about proves it. It's the way he is. It's the way, what he does, you know. And I think you'd miss anyone with that natural spirit to compete. He's always at it. That's what's made him who he is. And I'm really proud to have him. And we do miss him when we haven't got him. So someone has to step to the plate and make sure that those things, you know, it's only communication as well, by the way. Go on, up you go. That would have been so easy. It's mine. So easy, wasn't it? In hindsight. So anyway, if I'm a teacher, I don't slaughter people. I'm going to say, hang on a minute, can we do this? That's what you should have done. But when I watched it, that hurt. It really did. But never mind. It's what happens, isn't it? You've got to get on with it. But you're asking me, and I'm telling you the truth, because that's who I am. That's how I feel. And the lads understand that. I'm not criticising them. I'm just saying, come on, I think you can do better than that. And I will show them. And they know it. But let's be honest, let's get on with it. That was disappointing, because that's probably ruined our chase to the line, if I'm being brutally honest. And if you look at who we've got, let's get 3 more points, just to make sure we're tucked and we're safe. And then, you know, because I don't think 53, I don't think the others can catch that. They might be able to catch 48, but they have got to play each other. So, you know, anyway, never mind. Let's get on with it.
The last one, how do you kind of draw the qualities that Ollie gives you out of other people then when you haven't got him?
Well, normally other people make up for that, but with the injuries that we've got as well, Joel's determination, Ryan's determination. Ryan's been a captain before, he's not available either. So that leaves you short in certain bits and pieces. So most of the time, if I haven't had Ollie, I've had Ryan, you know, but to be without those three in that position to make a change that might have helped that line, you know, Kaney's done ever so well over the last few weeks to step in and do that when we've had injuries, but, you know, it's difficult for people when they haven't got that experience, you know, and I also had a 17-year-old on the wing and an 18, 19-year-old up front, so you know, it is what it is. I'm not making excuses. That is it. Without the senior ones, I've always said, you struggle at this level. And I think we did on the weekend. Because I didn't have some on the bench that might have been there. I didn't have some on the pitch that might have been there. And I didn't feel we had that authority about us. That's the difference. You know? And well done to them. They had some slight authority with their captain coming back, playing in that role in front of Harry. Do you know what I mean? So They did their job, we didn't quite do it. If we'd have got a point, I'd have had to take it, wouldn't I? But, you know, I don't like losing. And I don't want him to like losing. And I don't want to get back in that habit. But we've got to earn the right week in, week out. And the first mistake should have been solved by the other fella. The other fella made a mistake with him as well. That was 2. Honestly. And then Laura and Hardy, wasn't it? Not being funny. The whole back 4. Lost to Eder next, Miguel lost that, then Kaney didn't make a challenge, and before you know it, they've put it in the net. And then what a soft goal that is. And not being funny, Harry didn't run across and shut the bloke down who played the long ball, and Joe Wesley was walking this way, not even facing the ball. So everybody's at fault. From one rollout from the goalie to one centre-half playing it long, and then us missing that header, 2 of us missing the header, and then losing the next header, and then not winning that challenge. That's a goal. And what a poxy thing to see. And what summed it up was you're watching it on their feed and some blokes wiping the lens, for God's sake, when we couldn't even have our camera there. So let's just put it down to one of them, innit, you know? But as I say, standards. Life is about setting your standards, and that is not what I want. And they know it. But I'd rather share that. And I'm not moaning. I'm not blaming anyone, I'm just saying, come on, you know? And how many times did we give it in the midfield and the midfield lost it? I've never seen us like that in that midfield area. Have you? I've never seen us get trampled on, but we knew they would do that because they're good at that. So why we ain't going where we said we should go? In the second half we did, and we looked a lot better. You know what I mean? Out you go, there it is. Danny's got on it, Danny's, you know, and all of a sudden and then by the end, we got 3 minutes left, and we're still not in it long. What are we doing? It's about knowledge, and the group needs knowledge, and I think we were bereft of the experience that you need throughout the team, in each line. So, see what I can do.
I mean, focus on the contract a little bit. It's all signed now, so again, what are the...
I don't really care about that. I told you I was going to sign it. It's all nonsense. All that matters now is I've been given the privilege of being here for a chance of being here for 3 years. And I want to make a total difference to this football club, to how we come about and go about our work, to how the fans feel about the club again. I want to bring back some joy if I can, but I don't want to talk it, I want to do it. So I told you a few weeks ago, I'm definitely signing a contract. Why anyone doubted it, I have no idea. I wouldn't tell you if I wasn't going to do it, would I? So, and speculation in and around football clubs is poison. Not interested in it. Just get on with what we do. Right? I thank the lads for helping me earn that, because I could do nothing without them. And now I'm sat here having a go at them. Quite rightly. Because standards. Was that our standards we set on Saturday? You know? Did they want to win those challenges a little bit more than us? That's unforgivable for me. No matter who you are, no matter what the time of the season. You're not doing that if you play for me. So, there you go. And whose fault is that? I thought I kept on at them about winning challenges. So I'll have to do it again, won't I? Over and over again. That's life, though.
I suppose the thing is now you are going to be here for the long term. whether you want to talk about them or not, something that people are going to be interested in how you kind of bring those ambitions to life, really, and what the sort of ideas are behind it, and whether, you know, you might have an under-21 team and things like that.
Well, that's not for now, is it? Is it? That's not for now. Recruitment, absolutely vital. I've got a load of decisions to make. And that's where it'll all stand or fall. And we don't know where we're finishing yet. Are we just outside the playoffs? Or are we teetering just above relegation? I think last year we got 54 points. We're nowhere near that yet. Still 6 points off of that. Got 21 to play for. Should have been miles above that by now. What we've drawn the last through, lost and drawn. You know? We've gone from being in promotion winning form to relegation form again. That ain't good enough. And if you're trying to prove to me that you want to stay here, then come on. That's the challenge. But each and every game, we've had a chance to win those games. We did play well at certain times. You know? It was the last home game where we were so on top. Somebody got sent off, we equalised, and then we should have, do you know what I mean? Should have easily won that game. We had 3 chances we should have and could have scored, which we normally do, and you know, but that's it. It's the way it is. So let's get on with it. Let's see what we can do. And if anybody wants to stay with me, they got to prove to me they can consistently do what I'm asking them I want them to do. So everybody's got a fantastic chance to be here, but it's got to be better than the weekend.
Just because if you don't make those kind of decisions about players in advance, as part of that, as you say, giving...
In advance? What do you mean? I'm going to hand out contracts? I won't be handing out contracts right now. Not in a million years. Let's see where we are. Because our season has been so topsy-turvy, it's absolutely unreal. And their performances at the start of the year, the start of the season, got their manager the sack. So they've got rid of one bloke. Let's see, are they going to get rid of me? No, they're not. And I might outlast them. Because that ain't good enough, is it? So this is where I am, you know? And how confusing is it? Oh, hang on, are we a good team or a bad team? Do you know yet? Do you actually know yet if we're a good team or a bad team? And what am I asking them to show me? What I do know is without Ollie Clark in it, we ain't quite the same. And our stats, if you look that up, absolutely scary. Why did I call him Rodri? Because if you look at Man City's scores without Rodri in it, exactly. And what does he add? He's a Ballon d'Or, isn't he? So I think Ollie is our Ballon d'Or. You know, I really do. But I need to make sure that we can get him fit. He's already signed on for next year. He's one of the lucky ones. He's already signed on for next year, so we got to make sure that he's fit every week. Part of that's to his challenging day in, day out. He can't stop tackling. When he gets home, he tackles his missus and she puts the tea on the table, and he tackles all his kids, and then they tackle him back. You know, I think that's the way he is. But, you know, hopefully we can sort that out. But life is about being consistent and having a consistent choice. And if you get some injuries, you don't want to go wobbling. And at the end of the day, we're getting the pitch re-sown because it needs to be, dramatically needs to be done. So that is a cost that will come out of the budget, and I got no problem with any of that. So there we go. And all of that will happen at a certain time. Will it be now? Nah, not in a million years. And if that risks other people getting them and talking to them, so what? I want people who want to be here for the right reason. How's that? I didn't want to sound aggressive, but that's how it is. I think it's totally and utterly quite simple. If anybody thinks I'm handing them a contract right now, you can go swing for it. That ain't it. Where are we? What are we doing? And I'll do that in my own time. And I also assess what's available as well. So all you got to do is keep proving to me that you want to be here. And if you don't want to wait till the summer, goodbye then. Bye-bye. Seriously. And if people are worried that we might lose people, the main people who I could sell are on contracts. All of them. Could have sold Will Wright. Coming up to the thing, he's got next year. I haven't had a phone call for Harry, but I'm sure I will in the summer. But he's got next year. John McGregor, he's got next year. Going to slightly improve his deal because it's not fair. From what he is, we're going to put a simple thing in where every young player gets the same, and if you played a certain amount, we're going to put that in. So Swindon that's what I do. That's how I do it. So, there we go. And hopefully I will fend off some bids in the summer because we've done ever so well from now until the finish. Everybody's trying to want to stay here, and we'll have some fantastic scores. And it'll be even more exciting than it's been recently. Instead of peter out like we're on a beach. Can't stand it. And if that's what people think they can do when they play for me, they got no chance. Am I saying they did that Saturday? No. It was like a beach. It was a terrible weather. Unfortunately, we let an absolute disastrous goal in. And our chances that we did create weren't clinically enough dealt with. I thought Glatz's effort when he came on and the great cross he put in and Harry's header, Harry looked tired, I've asked him to do bit after bit after bit, so, and I hate saying players look tired, but he's absolutely would have, with the battering he takes week in, week out. That's why I put Joe up there. That's what I want to try and do that. But at the end of the day, I got to rethink everything. So I can't wait for tomorrow night. Honestly, really can't. Calling all my staff together for meetings about who's out there, who's available, what can we do, what can we add, where are we, tell them where the budget is, talk about where we're going to try and make some plans. But most importantly, they'll be sorted out as well. I'm delighted with my staff, absolutely delighted with my staff. And I'll be looking at them being with me. And that'll be sorted out. So I'm absolutely delighted for all of them, with all of them. And then we can mould where I want to go, what changes I want to make to us, what I want to give down to the youth team, how I want to bring them up and involve them more, their coaches, with us, so we're all developing the same sort of patterns. So there's a smoother transition for Botan into our team, or for Anthony into our team, or for Joel into our team, so we don't have any, So I'm really excited I could get all of that going. Rather than think short term, I'm thinking long term. That's what it means to me. That's what I'm going to put in. Be able to add some scouts to our network to make sure we're not just doing it on data. We're actually getting the eyes on it all around the country. You don't need that much, but we'll be at it. So that information will be in, and we'll all be woo, and it'll be growing, and we'll be feeling stronger. But at the end of the day, it's about the size of your heart, not about your wage packing. You want to play for me, honestly. And I'll lose some people because they'll probably want too much, but I'll get the right people because they'll come for the right reason. And that's what stood me in good stead in the past. Character, judgment. No culture of your fault, not mine. Bothered. None of that. None of those things that we had people waiting for it and, I thought oh no. Not saying so, you should have done better there, as it happens. Do it beforehand. All of that. So I've seen a great upturn in that. Let's see if I can keep adding to it. And then hopefully the fans will see it. But it's no good talking about it, is it? And I don't do it, they do. So, and just because I've got a contract don't mean you're going to get one right now. Honestly. What that means is I make some decisions for the long-term benefit of this football club. That don't mean you're going to get your bit sorted out right now, does it? So if people think that's, they hanging on, they're going to, they might not, they might lose out on them, so what? I don't care. I don't really care. If they get a choice, hopefully they'll choose us. Do you get what I mean? And if someone chooses someone else, they don't want to be here anyway, do they? Get lost then. Jog on. That's how I feel. And if we have made some signings, then we get an injury, and then, I'm going to put one of the young ones in. I'm not going to add someone else from somebody else's club and work with them. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add one of ours in there. And you'll have to be patient with him because we'll have to help him because he's not quite ready, but I want him in our team because how he cares about the club, and that's where we are. There we go. You finished ages ago, and I just carried on. And you put your mic down. She was leaving the building, the fat lady, as they say. That is the world's worst interview I've ever done. Sorry.
I've already learned when you want to talk.
No, I'm very, very sorry.
No, when you talk about all that stuff that you want to have in place, presumably committing for the long term means that you feel totally convinced that you will be able to enact all of those things.
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't have signed mine, would I? Why did it take so long? I got assurances that, go on in, there you go. As long as I talk to Clem, as long as my relationship with Clem is how it is, I got no issues with anything. And then what we got to do is make sure we do things, get it done. We do it, we get it done so it don't fall back on me and on the players, hang on a minute, so let's get it done. If I've noticed anything, we need to get it done. Come on, Swindon, get it done! And that's, hopefully, what I can add. Do you get what I mean? Because am I going to be bothered telling anybody, come on you, we need to do that? Do you think I'll be scared of that? Do you think I'll be worried about my own position if I say those things? Jog on. This is how we do it. I want it done. Can we get it done? If I can, no problem. We'll have to do it this way then. But we're going to do that. And then all of a sudden things happen. I'm used to that. I'm used to being told, no, you can't have all of those things. But I'm used to having a relationship where I could speak to the people at the top and they either do it or they don't, and I accept it, and then we move on. So all of those things have been totally and utterly, completely assured that I can carry on and be me, which I've been allowed to be here. I have been allowed by the people at the top be me. So I'm so excited about what we can do.
When we talk about the contracts of players, is Botan Amin included in those who you
Botan Amin is not included in those because Botan Amin has been told by me that he is on the youth scheme and I want to put him on a professional scheme. So that's different to anybody else. He's technically someone who I can just pick up anyway because he can't go anywhere. We can trigger a third year for him, ain't no problem. I can't lose him, you know, I can. But I want to say, there you go, son, well done. Because I've identified him as someone that I think is good enough to play in my first team. And the others at the moment, I am saying, excuse me, boss, because I'm on the phone to him most of the time, I think you got one here.
have you begun speaking with him about giving him that deal?
I don't do that. That's not my job. I look at what we've talked to him about. I give advice before we do it. And then I look at it. I don't get caught in any of that. That's personal. Right? So those things will be done. I will have oversee at it. I will tell Clem, yeah, that's all right. No, don't do that. And then there we go. So, but I won't be doing that. I don't sit down with any agent. I've got so much to do. And mine's more coaching and life skills and leadership and management rather than go and deal with that. But we should have a regulation of people get this or they don't, they get that or they don't, they're on that or they aren't, and that's the level that you should be on. And I'll bring all of those bits into my club. I have a certain amount of people and from age 17 to 20 and then 21 to 24 and then 24 to 29 and then plus 30 plus. I have certain numbers in each one of those and I don't want 35 whatever we had this year. So got a lot to do. And then I got to think deep down what we're going to do with the under 20, under 18s. What we're going to do is 2 years long enough for them to develop, but we'll find ways to maximise what I think is absolutely vital. You have a scouting network and you have your own youth scheme. That's what I think. But we've got to look at the expenditure of that. We've got to look at how we can get them into the team, keep them into the team, you know, to make us, mould our own people. I want to mould, I want to affect young people. I don't like how the world is at the minute. I don't like it. I want to mould people. Not in an old-fashioned way, in a true way. You're not doing that. You're not getting that because you didn't do that. What's wrong with that? My gran told me all of those things. All I remember is her tutting at me because I was a little bit spoiled. Because I had a bit of a temper on me and mum couldn't handle it all. And she used to give in to me because I was her youngest. Well, my nan never did, so thank God for my nan. Right? My mum should have been slapped about a little bit on the bottom, saying, "Out, look at this kid," because my nan used to tell her, and my other nan did. But she didn't like me, she liked my brother, so that was unfair. Never liked her. Asked my sister exactly the same. She'd buy my brother some chocolate and me and my Sue had to sit in another room. She was bedbound and I used to hit her on her leg. I didn't like her. And I'm sorry about that, but that's the gospel truth. She wasn't nice to me, so she got it back. But my dad used to sort me out, but my mum never did sometimes. Do you know what I mean? God bless her. She'd go down my mate's house and his mum used to sort me out, to be fair. Judy Shell, she was fantastic. Feisty you are, aren't you? Oh, yeah. You're only little, aren't you? Yeah, I know. Don't lose it, she said. So there we go. Weird, isn't it? My interviews are weird, aren't they?
They go some places.
They do. But I need to give you some meaning. No, I think it's important. You give some meaning. You make it interesting. You have a bit of personality somewhere along the line instead of, oh, yeah, I think I might keep the same team this week. You know what I mean? Whoa.
It's much better that way for me, thank you.
No problem.
Quickly on that recruitment structure you've got now, where you don't want to be dealing with the agents directly, who is ultimately in charge of the negotiation side then within the structure of you being the manager?
Well, we've just lost someone who did it, and I also lost someone else who did it, so I've had some meetings, and I know who's going to do it, you know? So that's fine. And they'll share that responsibility, so that's fine. Well, Anthony and Bailey.
Okay. Because you'll say you have obviously lost a secretary and you've lost a director of football, so it's just interesting is how that structure sort of puts itself together without official...
Well, not really, no, not really, no. Because we had Jamie White and he's just gone.
Yeah.
And Bailey's been under Jamie, working with Jamie. He's really efficient, so we'll see how it goes. But as far as I'm concerned, I can tap into whoever I spoke to all my life about where the market is, how much people are on, what are we doing, where are we going. And we'll look at how we get information. How did people find out Rosaire might be available? It's not from me, is it? I'm not going to pick up the phone and say, actually, some of my players might be available. I can't do that, can I? So there's ways that people do that. And I've tried to be really positive ever since I've been here. And I think getting a shift out of everybody with only changing 3 people, I think, was vital. I liked the squad that I had here. I thought they could have developed and they could grow and they could add an awful lot of skill. But they were missing some fundamentals, and I think Tom Nichols has added some fundamental knowledge. 500 games he's taken to earn that knowledge of where to be without the ball, where to be with it, how to pass to someone. Probably played the best pass I've seen all season with the outside of his right foot into Glatz the other day, and unfortunately Glatz didn't score. But Glatz will score if he believes in himself enough. So, you know, it's all about adding the right bits and pieces. And Jack will argue with me, but I think Connor Ripley has been vital. The way Jack's trained ever since is, you know, life's about what you do on the training ground that makes you a better person. I think Djokovic and Federer, they were made on the tennis courts of practice, not on the main court. And that's what life's all about. You have to keep going, and this is what life's all about. I have a wonderful scouting network of my friends, of people. 1 or 2 of them I can link up with again. Regional people, so I only pay them travelling expenses, but they can't wait to work with me again. They feed me so much information because I have to be on the grass. And at this level, you have to be on the grass. You have to be on the grass because they don't always remember it. The higher you go, the more quicker they pick it up, right? But here I'm going to keep going until they do get it, and I see lots of shoots of progress, and then all of a sudden you'll see, oh God. But those weeds will be pulled out and leave some fresh soil for the new stuff to grow, and hopefully we can do that. But you won't get names out of me, you won't get pieces out of me, you won't get that. I just know how a football club should run, and I know who should be doing what, and I'm going to keep that internally. And at the end of the day, I don't have the answers to tell you certain names yet, but you know, at the end of the day, if I'm being brutally honest, we have one scout. And I can't blame him for it. He cannot possibly do all of it. And we use data from somewhere which we're changing. I believe there's better out there. I believe the people that we've got with the people that I might add in those areas will read that information much more accurately for me than we've used it in the past.
You mentioned before about bringing in an analyst, and I presume that's not well. Are you expecting any other additions within your coaching background and structure over the summer? And you've said you're happy with your coaching team. Just wonder whether you want to bulk it out in any areas.
This is the exciting thing, you know. Every club's different, you know. But what we will have is we'll have a closer link with the youth team, and I will be spending a lot of time looking at that this summer and making sure that we've got connections that can help the lads who we've already got in the system, and the lads coming through beneath them. I will have meetings with to tell them how excited I am for the long-term future of Swindon. Now it's worthy of me meeting these people and offering them the hope that if their boy's good enough, he'll be getting in the team before anybody comes from outside. And that's the exciting thing for me. People of this area, when they listen to me talk, hopefully they can understand exactly what my accent is saying. I don't need an interpreter. And they know that I've managed to do it myself, coming from this area. So what bigger proof do I need to say, you need to do this, your son needs to do this, your daughter needs to do this, Swindon can, you know, what a joy that is to be able to say that as well. Because we are one club. We are one club. And we are a community club in a wonderful area of the country, and I want to be proud of us. And I am. You can see that. So there won't be one little rock anywhere that I haven't picked up, looked at and gone, bump, you know. And that's all I can do. And if you're a Swindon fan and you don't like the decision that I do apologise, because there is apparently the majority of people are really happy that I've got the job. If you're in the minority, I'm very sorry. You might be quite sad, but hopefully I can win you over. I had it at Blackpool where one fella, 86 years old, rang me up. I don't like you, I want my season ticket money back. I said, well, please come along. Just watch some games. Nah, not having you. Not sure he ever came back. Don't really care. Because I'm sure he'll look at what I managed to do and be quite proud of it. But, you know, this is life. You can't please everybody, can you? And I know I can. But really, it should be about the team and what I'm trying to do with the team and how I'm trying to improve the team. And that's all I should be ever judged on, really, is what the team is trying to do, what the club is trying to do, who we're managing to attract, what we're trying to do, how are the gates, what are the gates, are they growing, are people happy with the performances that we're giving, are they happy to give us the money in today's society where there's no real space for anything, that, you know, because everything costs so much these days. So we have to try and give value for money, and second division football is not value for money, in my opinion. Unfortunately, we're there. It's the bottom tier of English football, and I believe we're much bigger, but we've got to prove that we're better than that. So I'm banging the drum for this wonderful football club, and I'm so proud to be able to do that. I was very glad on Sunday that hopefully the ink on my contract was dry and they couldn't wipe it off after the Morecambe result, because that's how badly I felt.